Oh my gosh, it's episode 130. We're getting there. Trevor's here. I'm here. Chat's here. That's a full party last time I checked. Let's do this quickie sponsor shout outs. VetDNA.com for all of your testing needs. Use code SHITHAPPENS for $5 off the crypto panel. You got to buy your swabs first, though, before you pay for the test. So buy some swabs, test your shit, stop being a baby about it. VetDNA.com. That's my best commercial yet. All right. Sponsor shout outs to Stoneage ball pythons, ski breeds ball pythons. We love that. Powerhouse pythons, ski breeds, lots of things. But ball pythons also. Thank you, Powerhouse. Yes, Reptilia. I saw him in chat. Gresham's in chat. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Reptilia. On Xotics. He's been doing good on YouTube. Good job, Shane. Check him out. He has an auction right now. If y'all want a Calico combo heck clown female. Shane, Kelly, on Xotics. Oh, look! Speaking of the devil. Zulu pythons. I don't think she has a current auction, but she did try it out. Said she had a great show. Bravo, Zulu, ball pythons. Check them out for het puzzle, het clown stuff. And Gray Family Snakes. They have a Repticon coming up. Mostly breed ball pythons, so they have Sansania. We love that. Thank you, Gray Family Snakes. Was that the fastest sponsor one ever? I think so.
I think ever. Like on any channel.
I pray to God every day they get their money's worth. Victory Lane Exotics, thank you for being here. Jen, Emma, Chris, Christina, Carissa, Alex, Bonus Carissa, Jennifer. There's a lot of names that are the same. Shane, Donnell, Chris, Jason, Trevor's here. All right, we did it. Thank God.
We did it. I almost wore Shane's shirt too. I just got it like
we would have been twins.
I know. I saw that. I should have worn it.
You can still go get it. I'm not hating.
It's 3 stories up, and there's kids involved, and then it'll get dirty. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
All right. Do you have not a 60-second elevator pitch, but maybe 2 minutes? Ready?
2 minutes. All right, cool. Let's go. So my name's Trevor. I am from Denver, and I have Ball Labs. This is one of my companies. I also just started up Rodent Labs as well, which is going to be interesting. I got recently PACFA certified, which is our Colorado regulatory board for small animal breeding. So I was told that I'm one of like 5 commercial rodent breeders now in Colorado, which is cool. So I got my first reptile, I want to say back in 2000. Don't quote me on that. There's been a lot of drinking and kids between then and now. So I got my first reptile was a carpet python, actually. He was absolutely awesome, and made me fall in love with reptiles, and it just kind of took off from there. I did take a break from like breeding and having a lot of reptiles while I moved around the country for a good bit, but I bought this house in June of 2020. And I moved from a 2-bedroom apartment, and I think I had like 20 reptiles in the 2-bedroom apartment. And this house just happened to have a gigantic basement. And yes, drinking leads to kids. So if you love kids,
100%.
do lots of drinking. But so I bought this house in June of 2020, and then and it has a decent sized basement. This is one of 2 rooms that are this size, and virtually have filled up both these rooms already. Next step will be to move to a facility and then just keep some stuff here. But that's kind of me. I'm 40. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I've lived all over the country, and I love my reptiles.
Perfect.
Actually, I love animals altogether. also have 2 dogs and 5 cats and 6 chickens and a rabbit, and all kinds of stuff upstairs. So there's my elevator pitch.
6 chickens sounds like it's due to an ordinance, is it?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out here.
Otherwise,
out here
chicken
in
math
Aurora,
would get you,
Colorado.
and you'd have like an indiscriminate, insane number of chickens. Whenever I hear like, oh yeah, I only have 6, no roosters. I'm like, oh
No
yeah.
roosters. Yep, that's right. That's right.
She is a recovered alcoholic with 8 kids. I can vouch for Trevor's statements. That's right.
Same boat.
Mm-hmm.
Same boat. I quit drinking after 2 of them because I couldn't handle any more.
It's expensive.
So,
So it's 2020. You bought a house, and then you're like, okay, I also want to be a reptile breeder, rodent breeder. Or is it you always wanted to be a reptile rodent breeder and you were just waiting for the space? Or like, did the idea...
No. So actually, rodents is a new thing for me. I was into breeding reptiles back in the 2000s, and due to moving around and that kind of fun stuff, I got out of it. And I think I just had like 2 snakes that came with me when I moved around the country. I went from Washington to Arizona, Colorado. I was kind of all over the place, and so I got out of the breeding side of things, and then I came back to Denver. My little sister had her first, so I came back to be an uncle, and then I bought this house and I got back into it. So I've always loved reptiles and breeding reptiles. I just took a break. The rodent thing is new for a couple of different reasons. I've seen a need in the market here. I know one of the main rodent breeders in Colorado, and he is absolutely awesome. But he is overwhelmed, I think. He drives from like Cheyenne to Pueblo delivering rodents, and that's a lot of what he does now. And so I looked into the process of getting certified and licensed, and then just so happens that Freedom Breeder was having a Black Friday sale, and then it all went downhill from there. So
How are you trying to set up your business? Are you wanting to be like the person who sells only live and delivers them, a la carte pickup?
Both. I'll kind of help any need right now. I have frozen, I have live, I have all sizes. I can do some delivery within a certain distance, and I have people that come and pick up right from the house. So it's very young. This is only a couple months old, the rodent breeding. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it the right way. I just know there's like many different business models. And maybe you'll find one you like the best in the end. Because some people are just like, I'm tired of meeting people who will flake out at the Wendy's, for $5 worth of mice. And so to save their time, they stop that part of their business, and they just take all those animals to like a reptile show. They sell them frozen because then it's convenient, right? Because you're just like stockpiling them. But you haven't quite figured out which one you like the best yet?
Currently, I have people just coming to the house, which I definitely like, because I don't like packing up the 2-year-old and 4-year-old and driving around. And I have people coming so far from anywhere from like 3-4 rodents a week to like 20-25 a week. So I'm kind of spread all over the place right now. And I've done some deliveries already. Like a buddy, he had a pinched sciatic nerve, and he usually comes to the house every week. And he messaged me and like, hey, can you bring it over? And I was like, absolutely, I can do that, right? But then I had somebody else hit me up off Facebook, one of the Facebook groups, and like, I want 2 weaned. I'm like, where are you? And she's like, 45 minutes away. I'm like, no. So,
Right. Yeah, it's
so
people I don't know. So I did like at my house pick up of rodents for 3 years or whatever.
mm,
And your best customers, the ones that come back every week for 50 smalls and 20 mediums and the amount of pups they need for their current babies, I love those. Please come to my house.
right.
But you end up with a lot of like randos, weirdos, and they'll, even at your house, you're like, the time management of scheduling someone for a $2 mouse pickup is just not good eventually. No. So like I was like desperate for someone who would be like, just at a discount, buy everything extra that was made that week that I knew I didn't need to hold back for the next size for the next week for like a flat price. Like if they had thousands of snakes and they could get medium rats for $1, I would just like be my guy or gal to buy 45 to 100 of these every week. I couldn't find somebody like that. It was kind of bullshit. No. I don't know. But I'm a complainer. Do you do rats and ASFs and mice or less?
No mice. Just rats and ASFs. No mice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a local reptile store that I go to for the mice when I need them.
Mm-hmm. You haven't just like slotted ASFs in for most mouse-based activities?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy what, like, I don't know, the big producers can produce a mouse for. Like, I don't think I can produce a adult mouse for $1.79 either. You can't compete with that. It's wild.
What are your like small rat prices there?
I don't even know right now, to be honest. Like the show price is more than big cheese, so it'd be like $3.50 or something. But like the local yokel meet me at my house, it's probably $3 or $2.50 still. But people don't produce rats down here. Here's my theory why. It's because it's fucking hot as hell in the summer. And so they would need to run multiple AC units that the ammonia will burn out to keep them alive from exploding. So like there is not that much rat production, which is weird relative to the amount of snakes. I don't know. It's very weird and regional. So like really big things like big cheese is pretty close. It's like 3 hours away. So people would rather drive 3 hours, pick up live at big cheese, drive home, and store them than breed their own to have to AC a rat shed. So being like north of the Mason-Dixon line is actually kind of like protective for your rats because then they won't fry in the summertime.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Do you keep your rats in your basement too?
No, they're in the garage.
Okay, you have but is it attached to the house?
Yeah, and it's a good sized garage. Yeah. And I have a big 8-inch infinity can filter, like weed grow fan with inline fans. It's all set up really nice. It controls the humidity and the temperature and everything.
They're definitely talking about poop in the chat. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, but
no, you're good.
They're just talking about a lot of poop in the chat, and I'm not really sure what's going on. So you use the carbon weed filters?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
It was like $500 for a whole setup. Yeah, it's great.
I have,
and then that's like for getting the smell and pulling, the majority of the air out of the room. And then there's 2 12-inch that are sucking air into the room as well. So, yeah.
So I have one. up, and I have another one that I bought, but the one I put up, I feel like isn't doing as good as I want it to. Is it because I smell? And or do I, like, how often do you refresh your carbon? Did you freeze? No, you're back. No.
Oh,
Chad, he's back.
I lose you?
Okay, you're back. You were just frozen. So you've had them for a while, but how long have you? How often will you refresh your carbon in it?
I think I have it set up for every 3 months.
Okay, maybe that's what I need to do.
On a reorder.
Yeah. Are you doing the ones where you have
option.
to throw the whole thing away and buy a new one? Or are you doing the ones where you can unscrew it and put activated carbon back in? Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that I can unscrew this thing. It's massive. So I think I just have to get the whole. I have it set up on the same. Because I have the Vornado humidifiers as well. And they are set up on a 3-month for new mix.
Mm-hmm.
So
those are the ones that go right into the water line?
The Vornados?
Mm-hmm.
They're just like 2.5 gallon reservoirs. I've refilled those every like 3 days. Yeah.
I've thought about the water line ones, but then I don't know. Like the water here is really hard. So I would have to pre-filter it. Instead, I just willingly nerf off-the-shelf humidifier every year. Like it'll just burn out and die, and just throw it away and buy a new one. Sorry, environmental impact.
I was actually talking to Marsh about that. Eventually, I'll get to where it's tapped in through a water line, goes through an RO system, and then because that's what he has set up, and it's pretty solid. So once I get to that point, I'll probably go that route as well.
What are you feeding your rats these days?
Missouri, and then I give them every other week. I'll add celery sticks and carrots and sweet potatoes, and then the black oil sunflower seeds.
Do you give your ASFs the same thing?
No, I don't give them anything extra.
They just get Missouri?
Just the Missouri.
6F or rat and mouse?
The rat and mouse.
Okay. The rat and mouse is higher protein, but it's expensive.
Yeah. So I've got it set up where I'm getting them all of it for $30 a bag.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, but what is Missouri? 18% protein?
Mm-hmm.
You would think your ASFs are doing good, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He's in Colorado, Chris. Yeah. I mean,
good old Colorado.
It's very weird in regional rat food supply, how much it costs, how close to the DC or whatever it's coming from, how close to the mill. So it's always different, but that's part of what makes rats cost more or less somewhere. And then the cost of keeping them alive, like the AC unit cost. So technically northern states could not run AC most of the year or heat and ship rats to the south and actually make a killing. But
Yeah, so I don't know if you've spent much time out here, but we're such a swing, right? We'll have $100 or 100-degree days in the summer, and then 0-degree days in the winter, right? So it's going to be interesting this summer. This will be my first summer with these guys, but I have a feeling, because right now if I run all the systems, the degrees the temp in the room will drop to 55. And that's pretty cold for rats. So I imagine once it starts getting warmer outside and I run all the systems, it will counteract those 100-degree 90-degree days and bring that down. That's what I'm really hoping.
Do you have an AC unit in there too?
Not yet, because right now it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right now it's cold, so I don't need one. Right now I'm just trying to get the special air out of there.
Right. It is 100% a challenge. In my experience, Norwegians will breed and live fine if they're 55, if they're acclimated to it, like they like experience the fall down in temperature. But ASS won't breed at all, but they will start to literally die while pregnant if it's regularly over 85 degrees. So like,
Gotcha.
to me, they're different. Well, one, rats, in my experience. It's almost like it's hard because you'll burn up your ACs with the ammonia.
Yeah. Right now, I'm having to run 2 space heaters just to keep it above 70. So that'll be a complete switch when it gets to summertime. Or radiant heaters, I should say.
Right. What I'm saying is maybe you don't have to do that. Save yourself some money now.
I'm hoping.
And spend that money in the summer to cool them down.
Do the AC. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's going to happen. Or a mini split.
Yeah. Mini splits are good. Those are another thing that they'll burn up, though. So you have to, like, price in replacements, basically. Rodents. Snakes would be very convenient if they ate something else. Like,
yeah, right.
Like sunflower seeds or whatever.
Yeah.
So what species of snakes do you keep currently?
The majority are ball pythons. I also work with carpet pythons, boas, Amazon tree boas, GTPs. I have pets that are. I have other species that are just like pets. Like I have Colombian rainbow boa, albino rainbow boa. We have 2 corn snakes. You'll be proud.
Nice.
They were OGs from the apartment. And then we have some like sand coastals and there's all kinds of stuff in here. I think when I went through and counted, there was like 21 species total in this basement.
That's good. That's good numbers, not rookie numbers at all. So why did you pick
2?
2 what?
There's 2 frilled dragons right here.
Oh, that's
There's
cool.
a black and white tegu over in the current corner. There's a whole bunch of crested geckos, lychee geckos, chewies. In the next room over, there's all kinds of stuff here.
Good night, Peter. And Wally's here. Okay, so which of those species are like the species you want to breed, like air quotes? Obviously ball pythons, because you have a lot, but like,
yeah.
Do you want to breed frilled dragons? That sounds cool. Or chewies, or are they just like, side projects mostly?
Yeah, the lychees, the chewies, and the cresteds are fully bred. They're rocking and rolling. The balls are being bred, obviously. The carpets, I got a gravid carpet female here. I have about 15 carpets. And the boas, I was not trying to breed the Amazon tree boas. I actually got those. That big tank in the back was from a friend, and they came cohabbed, and then they were here. Obviously, they've been here for like a year and a half, and then just all of a sudden the female started getting big, and I had Amazon tree boa babies. So that was not intentional.
But I bet it was fun though.
Oh, they're so darn cute. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how cute they are.
Did you already sell off the babies? Or
No,
Keep
they're only a
going.
couple weeks old.
Okay.
Yeah, they're only a couple weeks old. So I like any animal. I like to make sure it's well on its way so it could be successful.
Mhm.
I'm not a guy that's going to let them go early. So I probably won't sell them for another couple months after I know they're good. And
Did she have slugs?
None.
None. Good job, Mama.
No.
She did
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I just
And
like
she-
it's weird, but I like watching them eat the slugs. It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Just like, get it, girl. Sorry, being weird again. No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I saw some of these species on your Instagram, but then
Mhm.
there's a bunch of ball pythons, so it's like hard to tell how important each one is to you. But having 15 carpets is a lot. You're halfway
Yeah.
carpet guy.
Yeah. Right. I have about
Mhm.
250 balls. There's like 15 carpets. There's, I think, 7 or 8 boas. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boas. I have 2 retics now as well.
Oh, shit.
Younger. Yeah. They're still young.
Are you gonna vend mostly? Like, you have many animals. What's your sales plan? Online and vending
So-
mixed together?
I'm not going to do much of the vending because I have a 2-year-old and 4-year-old, and
Mhm.
I've been to a lot of reptile shows, and they end up running the show. And there's a lot of the vendors here that know my kids because my kids will go behind the tables and have fun and run the entire show. So there's no way I'm going to get them to sit behind a booth for 8 hours. So I will probably not be going the vending route anytime soon. So it's all going to be mainly online. Yeah,
Isn't there
that's what
a
it is
Reptile
now.
Nation
And
in Colorado Springs? Am I making that up?
No,
That'd
it's
be
in
one,
Denver,
maybe
actually.
Denver. Okay, that's one
Yeah.
you probably should vend.
Yeah.
Get a babysitter for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Troy from Best Dress comes. Josh comes from Ball Python Shed for that one. It's pretty good size. In fact, there's quite a few vendors that say they like the sales at that show better than they like at the NARBCs. So
Yeah, they make it a priority to bring in human bodies, and a lot of them on purpose.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where the rubber hits the road. Yes, they'll be like looky-loos or whatever, but you need X number of people through the door to get X number of sales. That's just like how it goes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of NARBC, is there an NARBC you would want to vend? I mean, you got a diverse enough collection that they wouldn't tell you to go away just based on balls. You could be like, well, I could bring carpets, lychees, and whatever. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one you would want?
I would do Tinley. I would do Arlington, Dallas this year, right? Yeah, I would. I'm not opposed to vending any of them. I just don't know how it would be with the kids, right? I was even talking to Holly from Tacoma. She's not very far from the Arlington show, and I talked to her quite a bit. And she's like, "Just come drop the kids off at my house and go to the show." And I'm like, I think I still want us to be friends after this, though. So it's probably not a good move. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got to do what you're comfortable with. I wouldn't vend with a bunch of young kids either. It's just not. You're gonna get frustrated. They're gonna get frustrated because they're bored. So they should definitely be at a friend's house or whatever. But
right, somewhere else. I have no problem with sales. I don't know why, but I'm not hurting for sales. I have people just hit me up out of the blue because somebody will tell somebody else that this guy has a lot of animals, and they'll just hit me out of the blue and, hey, do you have one of these? And I'll, sure, why not? Come get it. No problem.
Are you in Denver or a suburb of Denver?
Yeah, so I'm in Aurora,
Okay.
which is just west of Denver, but it's like half an hour to get anywhere around here. So if you're not going during like any of the prime time traffic, 8 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can get anywhere in Denver in a half an hour. So
yeah, I think a large part of, no offense everybody, like how successful people are hypothetically just has to do with where they live. Like if they're near a metro area, there's just a couple million people nearby. So like one of them's going to want a snake. You could do a Facebook pickup or whatever. But if you live out in the sticks, you have to go to where people are. That's just sort of how that works. So good job living in Denver. You're a winner.
I'm a winner.
Chris says sometimes he takes his kids and he thinks it makes him look more approachable. Yeah, I do, but I don't know. I just like sometimes I'll take Alex and I'll be like, Alex, how about you don't run away right now and just focus so I don't have to look for you and I could sell snakes instead of looking for you. And he's like, I'm bored. And so it like becomes like a point of contention.
I've definitely seen other people bring their kids and they'll be like sitting on the iPad the entire time or something like that. And they just don't look like they have fun. I've even seen people bring like their 16, 17-year-old kids and they don't look like they're having fun. And so, yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of work to do a show too, right? I've helped some of my friend vendors with shows. And one of my other endeavors, me and a buddy started a salsa company, and we have 15 farmers markets that we manage and have fun with, and that's a lot of work too. And we have employees for that, and so
what's the name of your
I understand the
salsa
benefit
company?
of shows. HellYeahSalsa.com. Yes, we do.
Wow. Everybody go buy some salsa. Yeah, and like a pop-up shop or a farmer's market is technically easier than a reptile show, but it's still a lot of work, right? So like
it is.
Reptile shows are good and whatever, but they don't have to be for everyone. So it's totally fine. Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to doing a show. I've been asked to do shows. I'm on the list, the vendor list for the shows. So they'll email me and be like, "Hey, are you in for this one?" I just tell them no until further notice, right? But I just don't know that I could pull off successfully with the two little ones right now.
Future goals, hypothetically.
Future goals. Hashtag future goals.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like it's hard to decide. Like it's possible I do just sort of okay at shows or whatever because I'm like a bad at selling snakes, right? Like it's obviously a personal indictment. But I don't ever strike out completely. Like I've never had a zero sales show. So I'm doing better than that. Let's stay positive. But like it's if I'm making 500 to 1,000 at a show, I'm not happy. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
it cost me $500 to be there. So
yeah, shows here are super cheap. It's like $100 a table.
Yeah, it's $100 a table here too, but I have to have a hotel because I live far away.
Oh yeah,
from everywhere, right? Gotcha. So the economics are different. Like if I lived next to those shows and made $500, it might be better, but I don't.
Yeah, you need to get a truck with a fifth wheeler or something. Use it as a
or
tax
just
route,
those,
and then also go on vacations.
right, those little pop-up camper. Go super ghetto. Then I might get murdered, you know. It depends on the
that
spot.
Wouldn't be worth it then.
Like some reptile shows are in like a fairground, and that's like a little safer because usually there's a gate ish sometimes, and so like there's just less hobos or whatever milling around. Some of them aren't. They're in like convention centers that anybody could drive in and out at any time. And I'm like,
yeah,
gonna get murdered. Yeah, $100 is average.
Yeah.
Bill says, I've yet to sell a snake, but I'm always in the positive on my end. 30 a table here. We are lucky. $30 a table. That's crazy.
Wow. Where are you at?
What's up,
Bill?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Life's hard.
Yeah.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yeah, up north they seem to do a lot of one-day shows, so the tables are cheaper.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what makes sense up there. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, it's not worth it to do one-day shows because then you're not getting as much hypothetical money for each setup event. But then, like, you don't need a hotel. Technically, you could all in on one day. And Sunday sales are always kind of whatever anyway. So maybe they are more. It is a better model to do a one-day show.
Yeah, I think probably depending on where you are, where the show is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see the one-day sales, one-day shows. We had in Loveland, which is about an hour and 15 from here. There's the Show Me. So they've always done a 2-day show, and then I think it was last year, might have been last fall. All the vendors had signed up for a 2-day show. The people had bought tickets for a 2-day show, and then just randomly they said, "No, we're just going to do one day. Nobody gets a refund," and people were not happy about that.
I heard the Loveland show was a pretty good show before that. Was that like the vibe you got?
It's always been decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always been decent. It's got some good diversity at it. I go there to hang out. In fact, it's funny. That Loveland show was the first time I met David from, what is it now, Custom Scales? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Custom Scales. I picked up a couple animals from him, and we got to chatting. And yeah, you've yet to see him. No, I saw him at a Reptilian Nation here in Denver, but he doesn't go to any of the local little shows, Repticons and that kind of stuff in Denver. So they do bring in some good diversity, even from out of state, for those some of those little shows that are like Fort Collins or Colorado Springs, because some of the Denver breeders are just like, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna drive all the way out there. So they have to find vendors for it, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whenever Dave comes back on, I have to ask him like how he picks his show, because he goes all over the place, and I wonder if he like calls Mickey and is like, "What's the door at this show?" or whatever, and that's how he makes the decision. Because he'll go to a little pokey dunk show, and he probably does good enough because he brings nice enough stuff that he just needs to make a couple thousand. But he'll drive a lot, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on?
Yeah, when he was at this Loveland show, he was by far the biggest booth. He had like 10 tables or something, and just everybody else he dwarfed everybody else. Big gathering around his table too, so I'm sure he did well. I think I bought 3 or 4 snakes from him at that show. But
that's good.
It's you female het tri-stripe, a male lesser pewter, either possible visual or 66% het tri-stripe. There was a big controversy over that. Yep. I don't know if you've seen that post, but
no, I missed it. Sometimes being like the medium-sized fish going into a smaller pond makes you look like a giant fish, and then like, but there has to be like money or whatever at that show, so that's the hard part. Is like predicting which show, if you're going to drive 8 hours to go to some random state. I don't know. I don't know how to do anything. Yeah. Nobody listens to me. And don't take any of my advice. I have no idea.
I think the real show professional. Do you know Tim from Simon T? Reptiles? No? He's from your neck of the woods. And he does like
what does his
35,
logo look
40
like?
shows.
Is it weird that I know what people's logos look like more than their face or name?
It's mainly his name. And the funny thing is, like, his company name is Simon T. And his name is Tim. So everybody calls him Simon at these shows, which is kind of funny, but I have been I've messaged back and forth and talked to him at quite a few of these shows. But he has a whole Excel spreadsheet on all the different shows within like 12 hours of him, and he hits like all of them, and that's all he does.
This Simon T?
Can you
Simon T. Reptile? I can't.
Be
sorry. Yeah, I've never seen him in my life, which is funny. I mean, he is in Omaha.
No.
I guess he just never does OKC shows.
Yeah.
They suck. He knows.
Yeah.
They're not good. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I need some like
nice stuff.
I need some insider info on like within an 8-hour drive or even 6 or something. Like, what's the show you actually want to drive to? And they're probably in Texas, to be honest, because there's just more people in like the DFW metro area than there are anywhere else within 8 hours of here. There's a fucking shit ton of people down there.
Right.
So.
And they're not lacking of shows down there either.
No, which is its own sort of problem. Like, but then if you're servicing, I don't know how many people are in that metro area, millions of people. Can there be 8 shows a year servicing millions of people? Sure, right? It's just, would it be better to have, instead of like a show in an expo center at a fairground, you do one giant show in a convention center downtown, which is the Reptile Nation model. You know, I don't know what's better. I'm not in charge.
So we're not huge here in Denver, but we have 7 shows a year here. So it's pretty decent. People keep coming out and keep buying reptiles. So that's why vendors keep coming and they keep having shows. And they're even talking, some local breeders have kind of started a group, and they're talking about having another show that's just kind of like a Colorado local show. So that's interesting. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Apparently he was at Shawnee. Was he? I don't get to walk around. Yeah, apparently.
Oh, nice. He's a great guy.
All right, cool. Maybe I'll say hi sometime. I can. I'll think about it. The last time I was told Reptile Nations were really good, I did Fort Worth Reptile Nation and broke even again. So I need assurances that it's not going to be. I think they probably had like a 5,000 or 6,000 person door. So like it was sort of like a slow. It was still good, but it was slow. The number of vendors. So wasn't that good.
Come out and do Denver.
I've thought about Denver too.
It's a fun show.
How hard is it to get the sales tax ID number for Colorado?
Not hard.
Okay.
Not hard at all.
Do I have to print out a piece of paper like from Missouri?
Um,
Fuck you,
I
Missouri.
don't know. You should ask Simon about that. He'll have all
You'll
the
know.
all the info on that for sure. Yeah, he'll know.
Yeah, like Texas was
The fun-
easy. I was like, you go on the website, ask for a sales tax ID number. So now I can vend any pop-up shop or whatever farmer's market in Texas, anywhere. But Missouri's like, print out this form, attach it to a pigeon, send it out the window. I was like, what century are we living in?
The catch here is PACFA. I don't know if you've looked into or heard
Oh my
of PACFA.
God, what's that?
I will keep my comments to myself on PACFA. But they are fun. They are a fun group of individuals.
Is it like a vendor certification that you can't sell live animals without?
So essentially, they wrote the book on animal breeding that most other states use as a guideline.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a table at a show here, you also have a PACFA form. And then everybody who buys an animal or everybody who touches an animal has to fill out the name and address and all that kind of good stuff. So they have some interesting
That
regulations
sounds like a
here
real
in
pain in
Colorado.
the ass.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't do Denver.
It can be.
Okay. All right. Acacia has a question. What are your 5 favorite single gene incomplete dominants? And then what's your favorite multiple Inca dominant combo that doesn't have a recessive in it? Very specific questions. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. Let's do it. 5 favorite incomplete dominants. Ooh. They're not going to be probably what everybody else is going to be all about. They're not going to be super popular. So I like bamboo. Bamboo is very cool to me. I like lace. It's pretty to me. I have a deep orange line high OD that I really am going to work a lot with. I'm going to get rid of most of my other OD and just work with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so many.
You gotta pick a favorite.
I know. It's funny because I was on a live last night and they're like, "What's your favorite snake?" I was like, "It's like asking me to pick my favorite child. That's messed up." So, I like leopard. I really like leopard. I would put leopard into almost anything.
That's 5, right?
Is it? We'll call it 5. That works.
Okay. And what's your favorite? This is a hard question. Just multi-incomplete dominant combo without recessive. Just like pick one. Striking you.
Are they in my collection? Let's see. I like GHI Mojave. That's a pretty one.
Good. It's a classic.
That's a classic, right? Incomplete dominant. Calico yellow belly, anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like calico yellow belly, orange dream, pastel. I know a lot of people don't like the pastel.
It's about what you like.
I really like this stuff. Right. I really like this Mojave LC Black Magic.
Did you get that one from Bomb or did you import it yourself?
No, so I bought a collection from a guy and he had imported it.
I really like Black Magic. I think it's pretty fun. Congratulations for getting us home.
Yeah. I've actually because I posted that on Instagram, I've had people reach out to me from Europe, and it's funny. Some of them reached out to me because they're trying to get a hold of KG, and KG won't respond to them.
Oh, why not? Is he being like?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know if they haven't responded or not. But.
KG. That was a fun. That was a fun. Sorry. Or maybe he just doesn't feel like answering people's DMs or whatever, which is fine.
It could be.
The super is cool. Do you think it's Nyala? What do you think about that? Or something like that? What do you think about it?
I think it's darker than Nyala. This snake is like black. It's crazy black. And Mojave isn't really a black, gene or a dark gene, I should say.
Mm-hmm. So, wasn't it a super? Isn't yours a homozygote, Mojave?
Yeah. So
well,
I don't have.
So super Nyalas without any other genes in them are black. But
are they
this
black,
could also
be still kind of brown.
If you put like spider or spot nose in them, they turn brown. But the ones in Europe that are straight or South Africa are black, like solid black.
Really?
So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Nyala and Furrow are the same?
No. To me, no. Furrow looks like it's got granite features to it that I don't think, because Nyala does that weird. I think they mixed them up though. People are buying Nyalas and getting Furrows in the same animal, which is cool. It's a freebie. It's a freebie. Yeah. No, all of that is very cool, and we should try it. So, what do you want to breed your Elsie Black Magic to first or second? Like what project?
She's already been paired with the deep orange.
That'll be fun.
Coyote, right?
Did you get it from what's his name? Chris
Hernan.
Did you get it from him or did you get it secondhand? Yeah, secondhand, but it was originally from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He does give me hope that like the ball python industry will move on, to be actually being interested in quality, but I just don't know,
Right. Yeah.
It's very hard to convince ball python buyers to spend money on stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead.
When I first saw his stuff, like that's what when I first heard of the Orange Dream gene, right? That's what I envisioned was like what his stuff looks like. And I was very disappointed when I grew up my own Orange Dream for it to turn into a brown snake. So
how do you think the Sunset people feel?
I know.
If they do look
I have
awesome
quite a bit of
babies.
Sunset stuff too.
Yeah.
Did you see the two sunsets on the that were just added to the Morph Market auctions?
Are they older?
No, they're babies. Orange Dream. There's an Orange Dream sunset.
Are they bronze?
No, a 1.1 pair of double-head sunset clowns, I want to say.
Oh, that's frisky. I know you're an enjoyer of auctions. What do you think about auctions currently?
I think they're great.
Okay.
I think they're going to tell the seller what the snake is really worth, and kind of tell the market what the snakes are really worth, right? And I think it's also great for the seller if you got an animal that's been sitting there for like 3 months and it hasn't sold, or 5 months, 6 months, put it on the auction and put a no reserve and let it sell, right?
Right.
So,
do you think people are actually going to
helps you clear rack space?
Change the price of the rest of their inventory based on an auction price, or even just drop it down a little bit? You think people are smart enough to be like,
I would hope so.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's something I've been noticing. sometimes something will go on Morph Market auction or the live auctions, and it'll go for 80% of retail or something. And you're like, oh, like, so like that animal, its retail price and its actual desired price are like pretty close together. So that animal could probably stay that price on Morph Market, and that's like the auction sale price because nobody was really there to buy it. And when they go for 40% of retail, then the retail price is wrong because like nobody wanted it hardly or 30% or whatever. It probably needs to go be a pet or something. You know what I mean? Like no matter what it is.
Right.
But I don't see
what I find funny about some of these.
Good. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We got like a delay here. We're working with.
Yeah, I can tell we do. Sorry. What I find funny about some of these auctions, though, is some of these sellers have their reserve prices almost the same as the price they had it listed before an auction. And
right. Why don't they just run a 20% off sale on their normal listing?
Right. Right. Why even put it on auction? Right.
Right. They're not really trying to find the right price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a shame. Okay, there's many shames here. It's a shame that the price of the animals have come down. Whatever. It's a shame that people bought in extremely high and are now selling their animals into a depressed market. That's also a shame. But it's a shame that people are sitting on animals they don't actually want, underfeeding them, barely taking care of them, and not moving them to some kind of home, pet, or breeder because they're waiting for a specific price. So all of those things are a shame. So I do like it, but I think we're going to have a problem where people aren't fixing the retail price and pretending that's the retail price. I don't want to go buy whatever for 3 times as much when I know it comes on the auction once every month or something for less. Obviously. But I do think things are fairly priced on the retail side on Morph Market. Like some people have figured out a good retail price, and the auctions keep coming up to that retail price. So like that's the right price. You don't need to change it.
Right.
That's my feeling on it anyway. The auction
I think it's great.
Yell at auctions forever, right? Yeah.
I will have to say that somehow I won that pastel het sunset from Shane before they had the rule where if somebody placed a bid in the last 5 minutes, then it added another 5 minutes onto the auction. So I got pretty lucky on that because I literally waited till it was like 3 seconds left and I sniped
it.
So I totally sniped it. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, did I win? I don't even know if I won.
I know.
Because it doesn't give you any indication. And then I get a message from Shane, hey. And I was like, I must have won.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's so it's fine that they rolled it out, but if they're going to add 5 minutes for every bid, they need to do proxy bidding too. Because otherwise people are just having to sit around at 2 a.m. and be like, stop bidding, please. Right?
Please. You just give up on it.
Right.
That's totally what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Totally what I did. There was a leopard confusion het clown male from Nussman. And me and this guy just kept going back and forth. And we $5, $10, $5, $10. And I'm like, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl. You can have it. I'm done. Right. So,
right. But if you could have proxy bid $600 or something and then watch the Super Bowl, you would have been like, well, that was my top dollar anyway. So if he gets me, it's fine. You could have enjoyed your evening, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that we're giving more time, but they got to do proxy bidding if they're going to do that. Although, because people are not going to nurse along auctions all day and night. And then the other thing is people are starting their auctions in the morning, and so they end in the morning, and most people aren't there watching. If you want maximum eyeballs when your auction is closing, you need to start it at night so it ends at night. Like I've showed up to some mornings, like after I drop the kids off, and I'm like, oh no, look at all these auctions ending with like $30. For something that is pretty good. You're like, yeah, start your auctions at night so they end at night.
I totally factor that in now. When I'm looking at an auction animal, I'll calculate like auction ends in 27 hours from now, right? And I'll be like, what time is that my time? If that's in the morning, okay, I got a better chance of winning that animal than if it's like 7 o'clock at night and everybody else gets that notification.
Right. There's definitely a game theory here that you can apply to get better prices both as the buyer or the seller. But to me, it's been largely fine. I'm not. If people are mad at the prices things are going for on the auction, then they need to look into their hearts and be like, "Am I just overpriced?" Period. For how much money people have. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Oh well, yeah, right.
And
I wish there was more species in the auctions. I'm really only seeing a lot of balls, some boas, some cresteds. There's like 1 or 2 random species, but I wish there was more. Like, what are we at right now? Like 167 auctions if you go on there right now. I've seen it up to like 280.
163.
Yep, I was just on there an hour ago. No.
Well, it tends to be species that are bred a lot, and so people are like, well, if I like lose money on this one, whatever, or if I don't get like the price I want, I have 40 more. So that's why it's not necessarily very many rare species. But I would be worried about a rare species not really popping off the way it should. Like, I don't even know if this is a good price for an AML Applegate. Like, this might be a fair price already. Like a banana pictonata, should that be on an auction? Like, does the banana pictonata crew want to buy it on auction, or would they want to buy it retail? I don't know. A scrub? Should a scrub be on an auction?
Throw it up there and 5 out. I think that's awesome.
I
totally bid on the 2 olives that were on there.
You didn't get them though, right?
No.
Okay.
I think they got up to like $600 a piece. I tried.
That's still a good price.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, it is. $1,200 for a pair of olives. Absolutely.
Banana says they're going to charge for proxy bidding. What the fuck?
Ooh.
So they're going to start like nickeling and diming for services.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I just don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know where we're going in this hobby. Where do you think we're going? What do you think the next? I want you to predict with perfect accuracy, 100% accuracy, the entire reptile hobby for the next 5 years, including all trends, species, best reptile shows. No, I'm kidding.
I could do that in like 10 seconds. No problem. I've got it. Figure it out.
I guess like the simpler question of that is, what are you doing to get your collection ready for the next 5 years?
So that's what I was talking about on the members live in the comments that I was putting. So last year and the beginning of this year, I've been really building up a lot of the genes that I really want and the animals that I really want and the equipment, the infrastructure stuff that I really want to be set for like the next 5 years. So probably around this summer, mid this summer, I'll be done with everything that I want. And then I won't be doing anything as far as acquisition or infrastructure or anything for like another 5 years. And then I'll relook at it.
You say that, but I don't know if I believe you.
I know, right? I've totally put that I'm not buying any more animals, and I've already got like 20 this year so far. So,
Right.
but we're still in a market where I can get the animals that I want for like crazy prices. And so, if
What if
I
that market keeps going, though? Are you going to keep buying to dollar cost further, or are you going to? Is there a point where like you have to stop because you're just full, or
no,
how do you parse that
what
part?
I'll do at that, then I'll just move some animals to some other local breeders so they can build up their collection. That's like a lot of what I try to do is I try and build up some of the local breeders around here for a couple of reasons, because I want them to have the passion and all that. And in the future, I don't care if I give you a $500 animal for $100, right? Because we'll become very good friends and it'll all pay off in the end, right? So I'm not really worried about that. If I need the rack space, I am going to hook somebody up for sure. So
all right, can I be a
devil's
advocate for 1 second?
Yes.
1 second.
Yes.
I agree with that plan, but here's something I've thought about in the dark of the night at 2 a.m. If you do that a lot, are you the guy or gal who is always like doing the buddy price, doing give away free snake, buy a snake, get a free snake, like to your friends, and so they're always expecting that, and are you devaluing your projects or something by being a cool person?
I think in a way I probably am, but it's only for a select few, right? So I have my for sale snakes, and then I'll have a friend come over and be like, hey, I need this for a project. And I'll be like, take it. We'll figure it out, whatever. Right. So it's really been for a select few that I'll do that for. And for people that have done that for me. Right. I'll return the favor as well.
Yeah. We like favors.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
We call them reach arounds.
Like Marshall. Yeah. Marshall was here on Saturday. I would totally let him have anything in this room, right? Because Marshall has just been absolutely awesome for me over the last couple of years. And I know that, I'll have a 20-year relationship with Marshall, and we'll
Marshall's
hang out
like
and
the
bounce
best.
ideas.
I don't think people realize like somehow you can have like a veteran
People don't.
Guy who's just still like a nice guy, and just he's not at full time anymore, but he still has all the legacy and clout he could possibly have, but he's like chill about it. So like I love Marshall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is, for an OG breeder out of all the ones that I've met, he's amazing. He is so amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I could
I
be
understand
a Marshall
your point.
when I grew up. That would be ideal.
Right? We got to get shirts. I want to be a Marshall when I grow up.
Yeah, like not like a bitter old bitch or whatever, or like the kind of vendors that like slap deli cups around and like they're like rough on their animals when they're showing them off. Gentle Marshall, very nice.
Right.
But Anna doesn't believe you'll stop buying at the auctions. You and Will go down as the auction kings. What do you think about that?
What does it say? You will stop when Will does what?
You will stop like
I don't understand
acquiring snakes when Will does. LOL. Auction kings. Will from CSB.
Oh, me and Will do?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He just doesn't believe you.
The funny thing is me and Will don't really battle it out very often. I think he's very pied heavy. He has 58 pieds from Anthony. Right? So,
I know, he's awesome.
I'm not. I have a lot of pied stuff, but it's not like what I'm. Like, honestly, I have pied stuff because people like pied stuff. It's not because I like pied stuff. I prefer being able to see all the colors and the patterns, right? And I'm not. I have I have clown pied projects and ultramel pied projects and all that kind of stuff, right? But I could, I could get rid of my pied projects tomorrow and not have a problem. So I don't know that me and Will really battle anything out.
I think you're just saying that like you guys like both say you're full or you're done, and then magically find room for more.
We get another rack.
Yeah.
Why not? Just get another rack. They're like $3,000. And then you can bring on 40 or 50 more.
I know, it's actually kind of crazy. Bye, Wally. See you later. Thanks for stopping by.
We all have 58 pies from Anthony. This is true.
Crazy that he had that many pies to begin with. Like, where was he keeping them all in that room?
I would love to go to
he was just
Anthony's
doing
room.
like, he was doing like the volume model. He was just going to keep back all of his females for a while so he could make combos.
Right.
But then the only problem with that strategy is you end up at the end, you're like, oh, I don't really need these anymore. You have a bunch of the exact same thing, which you're like, uh-oh, I have literally the exact same thing to sell dozens of times. Which I guess a lot of people fall into that trap, sort of.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Anthony's just got such diversity, too.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, Jennifer says, it's a bit scary to me that everyone thinks the prices are crazy low right now, but maybe this is just the price moving forward. Do you think the prices will be what they are now?
I think they'll go back up. Not to COVID days, right? I think there's a lot of people that got in during COVID, and now we've flooded the market, and it's a supply and demand thing, right? And so once this supply starts dwindling down and we get back to more of the demand, then I don't think they're going to go, back through the roof, but I think they will go up 10, 20%, 25% compared to what they're at now. Probably next year after.
Well, we're losing 20% per quarter currently.
Right now, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous what we're getting some stuff from for now. So do you think we're pretty close to rock bottom? You think we're on the way to the end of the valley? No? Think it's going to go even lower?
So I don't like making predictions because you're usually wrong, right? But I will, because it's at the end of the podcast. Nobody listens at the end anyway. Here's what I think is going to happen. So the 200 and under club that was like intro breeders, a male clown, stuff like that, is now the $50 club, right? And everything that was 200 to 1,000 is now the like $200 club. Like that's your intro breeder. Like the stuff that just last year was 200 to 1,000 is now $200. So everything above that is shuffled down. I don't think a male clown does ever needs to be $200 again, even if it is recessive, because it's going to be like albino, right? But it's actually technically uglier than albino to pet people. So it being $50 forever is probably what it's going to be. I don't know if there's going to be price recovery in simple recessives or certain doubles, albino pieds, albino clowns. They're going to stay where they are and be pets. There will probably be price recovery in like a mature female clown or pied, because people 2 years from now will be like, right now you can buy female pieds for $300 on Morph Market, not even on auction, just regular Morph Market.
Right.
So that's the price of a female pied currently. If you suck up enough inventory, someone might be like, yeah, I'll pay $500 for a female pied. As an adult, I'll breed it. Or whatever. I think that part will recover a little bit. But I think we still have like probably 2 years of like slow demand. Because we need to clear people out, clear inventory out still. If we have a good year of not producing a ton of extra slop this year, maybe it'll be 1 year. But the economy's very confused right now because the stock market priced in 7 rate cuts, and Jerome Powell already is not going to do the first one everybody because inflation is still like scratching at the door like a little puppy. He has his job is not to have like a wage inflation price spiral, not keep you in your job right this second. So people will lose jobs.
Right.
And then they have to sell their collection through no fault of their own, which will continue to suppress prices. So I'm thinking more like 2 years, including a real world recession that will happen. And then things will be like steady. That's why people tell you like breed stuff where you want to keep a lot of it, sell the rest for whatever you can get for it. Because not everybody has money to spend. Right. That's what I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I definitely wasn't talking about like a single gene clown male, right? Yeah, those are probably not going to come back.
Right, they're gone.
Bye, but you shouldn't even have. You shouldn't if you're a breeder, you shouldn't even have one of those in your collection anymore, really. So, but those are pets.
Males, those are pets. Combo clown males. The clown needs to be like
combo clown
or double visual or 10 genes.
Right.
Because that's why they're all $200 in morph market. Some like very baby breeder will want a mahogany clown male to breed, but not most of them. Most of them. They want a mahogany hypo clown to breed.
Right.
That's just the facts of life. And so like the upper crust of the market will, it'll have brisk sales and prices will fall and stuff will happen. But we got to realize that the pet market, the animals that are pet quality now has increased, right? Lots of kinds of animals that used to be breedable aren't really. They're pets.
They're pets. Right. And, on that point too, like I agree with what Will said when he was on your puzzle podcast. What will the testing do to the industry, right? What's up, Jeremy?
That's right.
So we'll see. But once these guys, Ben and Charlie and those guys come out with tests for virtually everything, what is going to be the difference between knowing that this has clown in it and knowing this has orange dream in it, right? It'll essentially level the market, level the playing field, and these big guys are gonna I don't know, we'll see.
I think the biggest problem right now is because there's no good way around it, but because everyone is like, okay, there's no value in single recessives anymore. I'm doing double, triple, quad, quint. Like they're doing it, right? But since they're all doing it at the same time, there's no advantage to doing it. Because right now you can buy a hypo clown 100% het pied or a hypo clown 100% het DG or a DG clown het hypo for like $2,000. Any of those is about $2,000. It will be extremely common to find a quint het or a 3 visual double het in 2 or 3 years. That actually will be like totally common and not weird at all.
Very common.
Because people have like the other sides so they can squish them together. So I think Will is right to be like, what is the step after that? Not what everybody's doing now, but step 2 or 3. Is it like visually impressive high ODs? Is it homozygous forms instead of just worrying about it being recessive, since recessive doesn't really matter anymore? Or is it something else? Just like new genes. So people will just start hunting LC Black Magics because they're like, we're doing the morph thing. We're going to like go find any gene that's new and mimic. Like we're going to go back to doing that again. Because there's every podcast I'm on, everyone's like, yeah, I'm doing triples. Yeah, I'm doing doubles. I'm breeding them for the future. I'm like, everyone's saying it though. Everybody. So that means we're all doing it at the same time. We're fucked.
I think I call them the mainstream genes. right? So like half of my collection is mainstream genes, and half of my collection is weird, right? And the odd and new and cool. And I think that's going to be the way you got to stand out. And to sprinkle some of these odd and new and different genes in with the mainstream genes is going to be very helpful in standing out, right? Like Hernan. Hernan is not a mainstream gene, right? Or even like Zach is working heavily with the tri-stripe. You go to his table and it's amazing. And he's not a mainstream gene.
Colorado cold-bloods?
Doing great.
Colorado
cold-bloods. Yep.
Yeah.
Corey?
I'm jealous of him.
Yeah.
Okay, Jennifer, here's the
too.
problem. You have to convince the whole industry that what is a seat of value in an animal is no longer the things that they've been taught. So I get it, but it's just not the way it is. A ball python breeder with ball python breeder brain will overlook attractive animals for normals because they think that they're powerful genetically. That's ball python brain. If you want to change the zeitgeist, I don't know. You need this. You need everyone to think ball pythons are valueless and look like a corn snake, and then they selectively breed for aesthetics. That's what's going to change it, because the value of a ball python is 100% based on perceived future returns.
Right. It's true.
Like, what will this earn me later? That's how ball pythons work. Not like this is the perfect example of this. It's like this is this building block in this larger thing, which I actually don't think there's anything technically wrong with that. It's fine. Who cares? Whatever. People have fun. But there will be another zeitgeist that comes 2 years from now when everyone has triples and quintets, and we'll all be like, oh, fuck. Should have been chasing something else.
Something else. Yeah.
Literally anything else.
Yep. And building that up. I think that, I think that I like the mainstream genes. I like the clowns, the pieds, all that kind of stuff. They're the mainstream genes, and that's great. That's what all the big breeders do, and I do it too, right? But I like Marshall brought up those double het sunset pieds, right? Brown snakes, very expensive. That lesser yellow belly, pastel lesser yellow belly raven that I got from H&J, just incredible looking, right? And nobody knows what raven is, right?
Do you think it's chocolate?
Not a mainstream. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think the two supers look different
enough.
That's what, different enough, right? And because I have chocolate, so, but I don't have a pastel lesser yellow belly chocolate, so I guess I'll see in the future if they look that much
I wouldn't
different.
even try. Like the people who have made like stranger mahogany combos, I'm like, thank you for trying, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to have to like sort them out on the back end.
Right.
Like I don't.
Right.
Sometimes like they kind of look like each other. There's a price difference.
Yeah. I think Cinder and Stranger are very similar. Right? If you put a pastel Cinder and a pastel Stranger right next to each other, I couldn't tell the difference between the two. And I have both.
What's weird is like a bunch of them are up there for a lot, but Cinders were not that much money, like not that long ago. Like $500.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What happened? I know the video came out, but the video didn't show something so exciting that it was worth reposting with a new price point. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. What happens when they find out they're the same genetically tested, right? I just got a whole bunch of strangers for a tenth of the price.
Right. Or like, I know people don't believe that McKinsey and zebra are the same thing. Lots of people.
Right.
But enough people do that they're buying McKinseys instead of zebras, and we'll find out soon enough. And whatever, it doesn't really matter if you like it, work it. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. It's like if double visuals are the new pet industry standard, then what do? You do quints or quads. Then what do? You put different genes in it. But we'll all have all the same power and authority to hit things. So it's not like we have 20 more years of making quads and quints and then trying to put them back together. We only have like 5 years of that before we have to do something different, before quads and quints are $1,000 each. You know, that's your cutting edge morph.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten very fast. And then Jennifer says, thank God for colubrids because they bring herpes because they're not the ball python market. Which is fine. Because in the colubrid world, like, let me just, I mean, you know, like or even your Amazon tree boas. You have an Amazon tree boa, you breed a general Amazon tree boa, or they breed by themselves when you're not looking. They make babies. They're just different colors, and you sell them like this one's red, it gets a little more money. This one's yellow, less. Garden face, less. And then you just move on with your life. There's no like 4D chests and thinking about the future and what the future demands. I mean, nobody gives a shit.
Right.
So those species are very relaxing.
They are. They are.
You know what I mean? Carpets are like that. Yeah. Like, I still have leftover carpets. I just won't breed my carpets this year, and I'll breed them next year. You know, like you could just take. They're just the same carpets they were all along. There's no like big rush. Who the fuck cares? That's why all of those are more fun. But you like ball pythons.
It is definitely a different world. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do.
I do too.
Do.
And sometimes I feel like
I really like my carpets too.
I'm being punished for liking ball pythons. You know, you're like, this is cool.
We're our own breed, I think.
Oh my god, yes. It's almost like two different kinds of humans. And that's why like some people like hate ball pythons because of their keepers. But then I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't matter really that the ball python industry is the way that it is. Because for the most part, they're making like healthy, ethical, happy pets. Like in the end, if they all lose money on the way there or make money or however weird stuff they're doing, in the end, they're just making bananas and giving it to kids. So like that's the final form. Right. Who cares? That seems good. You know, the net harm is not high.
Right.
I don't know.
In a couple of years, the $5,000 snake is going to be a pet anyway, right?
Right. That's the end. And like, so far we do have some new genes that are very cool and transformative, like maybe LC Black Magic or Mimic or whatever, something new. But we're getting less all along that are really world changing. So like, it feels to me like the top end of the market will come down. Like combos will be cool, but they'll only be $2,000. Like if you hit a new one, it's because everybody has the parts to make it. So then it's just cool. But the investment part of the market might fall down. And I know people are going to yell at me for saying this. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I'm talking like in the future, 10 years from now, 15. If we don't get new genes, it'll be like, you know, we're doing stuff, not like come get this $50,000 sunset clown, because we'll have made all of those relatively quickly with genetic testing.
Oh yeah, in 10 years we're gonna have dual codons and sunset clowns with another recessive in it, right? So
in 10 years we will have quintuple visuals, and with 3 codons in them.
You'll have a sunset clown monsoon zebra.
Yeah. It's not impossible because you could just buy one triple het and buy whatever, like Will said, and you would very easily make quintuples or whatever, or triple visuals double head very quickly, and then you're just doing double head to hit the quint. We're actually much closer than I ever thought we would be, and I'm like, oh.
It's crazy to think of that. It's crazy to think of that.
Which means, like, I don't stress about anything with ball python. I just buy stuff that I like. I mean, I do stress. I'm not like a stress ball, but buy stuff that I like, breed it, I sell it, and I mostly worry about cord snakes. Because ball pythons will take care of themselves. They have their own like engine of promotion and stuff.
I would probably say half my time is spent on Morph Market. I look at, the recessive animals and what works into my projects and all that kind of fun stuff. And the other half of my day, because I spend it like all day on Morph Market, is looking at the coolest pictures and what I can do to those animals, right? And I don't care if it has 3 or 4 codoms in it, right? In fact, I just had it shipped from the Reptile barn up in Alaska, Colin. It's a Orange Dream Mystic Enchy Flame male, right? And I just think he is badass looking. And so what can I do to him? I could add yellow belly into it. I could add lace into it. I could, there's all kinds of stuff that I can do to make that animal even cooler. And I'm good with that, right? And I don't even need to put a recessive into it because I think it's a cool animal. And I'm happy with that, right?
I think you have to right now convince people because it doesn't have a recessive in it. You know what I mean?
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. If they're all gonna be pets anyway, who cares?
Right. Especially like I have been thinking about that a lot. Like once you have females, it's actually much cheaper and more efficient to buy a new male every year to bring a gene refresh in. So you could make hets with him, breed it to a clown, breed it to a pied, whatever. So once you have a large enough collection, you're mostly buying males anyway, and they could be like technically cheaper males because you're just like, I just need those genes in that combo, and I just want to just get that jizz over here, and then I'll have it to work on later. So like that's definitely a strategy once you're established. People just need to like get enough girls going that you could be like, oh, this is like a side quest over here. Here's some girls. Boo. Yeah. So
I probably will only have like 20, 22 clutches this year. Just because I don't want to have more than that. I don't really want to try and sell more than that. So I'm just doing what I want to do.
Are you limiting females, like not pairing them, or are you selling those adult females
that
to
are
friends?
not being paired?
Yeah.
So both. But I have some that I may just not want to pair them this year. I'll keep them, and I'm not going to sell them. But there's also other ones, like as I was saying before, like if one of my friends hit me up and they're like, hey, I need this for a project, I'll let them take that, right? Or I'll just loan them out, right, to a good friend so they can have at it. But I don't. It's not that my thought process is like we should all breed half of what we're breeding right now to reduce, supply. That's just not my thought process. My thought process is this is what I want to make for me and to further my projects. And I don't want to have a whole bunch of extra stuff, right? Like pieds.
Yes.
Everybody likes pieds. I'm not a pied guy. I'm not going to do 20 pied pairings because
everybody likes pieds,
me,
but
right?
I can't seem to sell a pied at the stupid reptile show. I've taken the same 4 pieds to the last 2 reptile shows. They're like leopard.
Throw them on an auction.
50% head DG, and I'm like, they'll sell, right? They're on frozen thaw. They're little males, pets. There should be pets. Fucking nobody wants them.
There should be pets.
I can't put them on an auction now, but like to me, this is like pet price, pet animal. Like it could be bred, but I don't know. It should be somebody's pet. I'm an idiot.
The only pieds I'm doing are the Ultramel pieds, the clown pieds, and some like variations in there, and then VPI exanthic pieds. So those are the only ones for pieds that I'm doing this year. But I have lots of other pieds that I'm.
Are those like double heads, or
yeah,
the visual?
Some are visual, some are double heads. Yeah, but and then I have my male banana pied that I'll always make banana pieds for kids because I just think they light up kids' faces, right? So, and I'll sell them for dirt cheap.
Yeah, banana pieds are dirt cheap right now. They're like $200.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
These times are changing, man. Like that is the pet price. It's not just a banana, because bananas are $50. It's got to be like a banana pied or whatever.
Yeah,
right. Things have changed. Now, and then one day, like I don't know if people know this about corn snakes. Like, you know, like most of their genes are recessive. So like a high-end combo or whatever is a quintuple, quadruple visual, right? So like we already did this in corn snakes and like went past it where like everything is every corn snake is half for like 100 things and it's like nobody cares. That is the future of ball pythons, where the hets make no price difference. You just kind of want to know for your records. It's just like, what does it look like? So that is the future. I just don't know how soon we'll get there. And maybe we won't get there until we die or whatever. But it'll be fun.
Probably faster now that we have testing.
Oh my God. It's going to be wild. Maybe I'll just breed rats. Just, that's where the money really is.
And then they're gonna find recessives for rats, and we'll get all specialized.
I love rat genetics. They're like awesome looking, actually. I like mice better. Like I know you don't breed mice, but if you want to get like your genetic boners off, mice, dog. Some of these mice are like the best thing I've ever seen. I'm like, and that generation time is fast. So you can like keep checking. Banana gifted someone a membership. Thank you, Banana.
Nice.
So someone will be part of the member live, which is, how am I doing with the member lives? Because like, honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I used to like screech about stuff. Now I'm just like talking.
I think it's cool.
Okay, the member lives worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm glad to pay $3 a month to come
you.
shoot the shit with you guys for sure. Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
I also.
Good.
I'm also down to talk to anybody about snakes anytime. So I might not be the best example, but it's nice. I like it.
All right, thank you. I'm always like, should I bring more guests on here? But like, ideally, it would be just members, and the idea would be to talk about whatever happened that week in like a relatively safe space. You know what I mean? That's the idea. But who the fuck knows? The vice president of Fancy Mouse Breeders Association. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Mice are where it's at in terms of like fun, morph breeding, selective breeding, because that generation time is chef's kiss.
Right.
Sorry. Why are we talking about mice? So right now you're buying some like off the wall weird stuff because you're just trying to get it in your collection, start working with it. What else? What can make Ball Labs open up his pocketbook if someone were to court a buyer like Ball Labs in the marketplace? What do you want from ball python sellers right now? Besides a sweet deal.
Sweet deals and stuff nobody else is working with that has a lot of potential.
Like weird stuff. like weird.
Yeah, like that Raven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Raven stuff. I think I got that for a steal. Nobody. Yeah, I can't believe on that auction. That was pretty awesome. I have Zulu, which is pretty interesting. I like messing with the LC Black Magic and the crazy stuff, right? And I like stuff that's not so mainstream, like Tri-Stripe. I love Tri-Stripe, and not a lot of people like Tri-Stripe, and I think there's a lot more that could be done with it.
People are dumb.
I have a ton of Tri-Stripe, right?
Yeah,
I can't believe you guys are jumping all over, right? But I think that it'll run the course kind of like Genetic Stripe did, right? G Stripe was almost a dead project, and then the Kiki came out, and then now everybody's all over the Kiki ball, right? So,
are they over it, or do they still?
I think they're all over it. Oh yeah, they like it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, over it like flies on shit, not over it like
yeah. Right. not like done with it. Yeah, not like done with it.
Yeah, I mean, Kiki's interesting because it hasn't dropped in price as fast as other projects have. So it wasn't like DG Clown where everybody ran, not everybody because it wasn't me, but people just flew after it like thousands of people, and so. Yes, you can find a Kiki for $4,000, $5,000, but it's got genes in it, and it's a female, and it's a little bit older. It's not like there are millions of them like DG Clowns are right now, and they're all basically the same with pastel in it or not. Those are your choices. And they're all currently $3,000, but somebody we know likes to sell them for $2,000 sometimes. So the real price is probably like $2,000. Just do other things, everybody. If you want to do Kiki, that's a better idea than doing DG Clown. Unless you really love DG Clown, then do that. But, I don't know. Yeah. It's hard. Life's hard.
I never got on the DG train, unfortunately. You
like DG?
No, I never got on. I have some DG stuff, but I'm not particularly a fan of the DG.
Is there a DG
lucky.
combo? Is there a DG combo you think you like? Because sometimes it's pretty fun, but sometimes you're like, whatever.
Well, so I'm going for Pastel Super Harlequin DG Cryptics this year, which could be interesting. But yeah, and they're going for 10,000 on Morph Market.
Are they?
Yeah. So
are
both
they?
my male and female have the Harlequin in it. Yeah, look at.
Do you think Harlequin is real? That's my next question.
I don't know. I'm about to find out.
Sometimes Harlequin animals do look different, but I'm like, is that like polymorphic changes, or is that something else? And people say it's something else, and I'm like, I believe you, but I haven't seen a good video with it single gene without anything else in it, homozygous form without anything else in it, plus pastel, plus you know what I mean, go through the line. I haven't seen a video like that, so I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know either. And to be honest, I can't tell what a Harlequin is compared to a non-Harlequin, right?
That's what I mean.
Two look like almost normal animals to me. So
they just fall down the stairs.
Oh,
who fell down the stairs? Go. Oh shit! All right, bye. Okay.
All right.
Hug your baby for me.
I will.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that ended up with children falling downstairs. Sad. Well, hopefully the kid's all right. Endless Morph says we're trying for Sunset Kiki. That should be fun. Here's my dream for that project is that somehow the base color can stay light and only the chevrons turn orange. So it could be like a light tan color snake with orange chevrons. That's my dream. I don't know if that's what's going to happen because then you would have a candy cane or whatever look sort of like these weird floating orange chevrons. If the whole thing is not very distinct pattern on a darker base, it's not going to be as fun for me. But if that happens, I think that'll be straight fire. Yeah. We just have to figure out if there are enough directions for everybody to be doing something different, which I think there are. There's a lot of stuff to do with ball pythons. But you know, it's hard. It's hard to pivot. But we all got to pivot a little bit at this point. I got a lot of stuff I don't love in my rack. Let's be honest. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. I don't know if you all learned anything, but hopefully you learned stuff about Trevor. And I didn't know he had that many carpets. I knew he had a couple and GTPs and stuff. So he is a fun guy, a Colorado dude. Follow him on Instagram. He links to his YouTube, but there's no videos on it as far as I'm aware. So hopefully he'll do that. Exactly. You do need a crystal ball. I would like to pivot into not having kids fall down the stairs. That would be excellent, actually. All right. So we'll see everybody Thursday to talk to Anthony. We'll ask him why he has so many pieds in his basement. And on Saturday, there's an auction with Blackjack, Powerhouse, and Porphyrium. There'll be ball pythons and Stimson's pythons, and I don't know what else, but I think it's those two things. So check out those. See y'all later. Stay positive and keep keeping snakes. That's what I say. Bye.